Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation, our video presentation. Today we'll be talking about implementation, which is part of the programming process. Take a note, or take many notes, because there will be a quiz at the end of this, and you'll want to do good on it. So, first of all, you may be wondering, what is implementation? In therapeutic recreation, implementation is the third step in the programming process. Just as people plan for a race, at one point, the day of the race will arrive. Recreational therapists use this step to put the second step, planning, into action. Each client's needs will be taken into consideration as recreational therapists decide what the best programs will be to reach the desired outcome for each participant. Alright, so there are 3 steps of implementation. First is actually beginning the program. The client is either integrated into a group or one-on-one setting with a recreational therapist. And depending on the program, there can be a set time of the duration, or there are also times when clients can choose that time frame themselves. For instance, there might be a specific activity once a week held at a facility that these clients will participate in, or the client can choose to go to an activity once every 3 weeks, depending on their schedule. And also during this phase, recreational therapists take notice of the client's reaction. For instance, are they anxious, afraid, or confused? Recreational therapists, a key part of what they do is provide those leadership skills necessary to help these clients feel comfortable and feel motivated in what they're doing. Okay, so the second step of implementation is monitoring and documenting progress. It is up to the recreational therapist how frequent these documentations will take place. They could occur each session or various times throughout the program, which can consist over weeks at a time. There are actually several forms of documentation, and these are going to be abbreviated, just so you know, but we'll go over what these stand for as well. And one abbreviated form of documentation is called POMR, Problem-Oriented Medical Records. These charts specifically record entries by problem areas. So that's the focus, is the problem area of each client. Alright, and the second one that we're going to go over is called SOAP notes. This stands for Subjective, Objective, Assessment, and Plan. And notes are organized according to these 4 categories. Once again, it's subjective, objective, assessment, and plan. Another form of note-taking is referred to as focus charting, and this organizes information into 4 categories: data, action, response, and plan, or DARP, abbreviated. So there's 4 different areas: data, action, response, and plan. This method focuses on behaviors of clients that occur during implementation. And the next one that we're going to talk about is similar to the SOAP organization of taking notes, and this is called PIE charting, which stands for Problem, Intervention, and Evaluation. Subjective and objective information is combined into one, and this creates a list of problems and also shows the results of intervention and evaluation. So these are some ways that documentation can take place. Documenting and monitoring is important to determine if long-term, short-term, and discharge goals are being reached. Recreational therapists should take note of the satisfaction level of clients, documentation of clients' reactions, their social interactions, team members who are involved, and anything else that affects the outcome of the program should be documented. Further documentation can take place through observation and interviews with the client. Monitoring and documentation determines how successful the written plan was. So this is a very important step in implementation. The third and final step of implementation is adjusting participation. If the client's desired goals are not reached, programs can be adjusted to resolve this. There are many ways to adjust a program. Perhaps a recreational therapist needs to alter their techniques and consider any input from coworkers or caregivers. The outcome within a plan can be adjusted, goals can be rewritten, or altering the content within a program. So those are all different ways that the participation can be adjusted. To ensure that a client will reach a desired outcome, activity and task analysis are great tools to use, and that ensures that a client will reach a desired outcome. So, activity analysis, that's identifying behaviors during leisure experiences, and the task analysis is putting each skill in order, first to last, to be performed in an activity. We can think of the steps of implementation like bowling, so we'll go over each of the 3 steps. Before we start our game of bowling, we have our plan in place, and that's comparable to the planning step in the programming process. The bowling ball can be compared to our plans of how we are going to achieve our goal. How goals are achieved. So the bowling ball is the plan. Taking that plan into action, rolling the bowling ball down the lane, is the implementation or the action part of those plans. And there are also specific goals within the plan set to be accomplished. In the game of bowling, we know that the goal is to knock over as many pins as possible using the bowling ball. So, knocking down the pins is the goal. What happens after a goal is reached? The desired outcome is accomplished. So this can be compared to the excitement of the bowler after getting a strike. That is pretty exciting. While bowling, a score is kept for how well the bowler is playing. During the implementation process, a similar pattern happens during the program. As mentioned earlier, documentation and monitoring can take place during a service to determine if the outcome is reached. Sometimes in implementation, as we are monitoring, we can see that our objectives don't always go as planned. There are times in bowling that the ball ends up in the gutter. Implementation is necessary in identifying specific adjustments that need to be applied to your plan. At this point, adjusting participation takes place. Your bowling coach, or the recreational therapist, we can compare that to, gives you a few pointers. Maybe they suggest, instead of looking down directly at the floor in front of you, to focus on the pins as you roll the ball down the lane. And this results in reaching your desired outcome, achieving your goal, and being really happy and excited. So that's an outline of implementation. Now we're going to take our quiz. So be ready. These questions are going to come pretty fast. Probably about 10 seconds per question. There will be 5. So get ready. And here are the answers. 1 is A, 2 is one-on-one or in a group, 3 is C, 4 is B, and 5 is adjust participation. And last of all, we need to give some credit to people. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.